Hi everyone. Well, here we go again. I am back here and I've got another request here. And I want to add here, if other people have requests that you'd possibly like to think that I could give it a shot kind of thing, put it in the comments section. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on twin flames, I might add. All right. It could be on pretty much anything. I do have a life besides twin flames, and I did a lot of other types of things before I got involved with twin flames before I met Nicole. Okay, this one here, and someone asked me, and I am going to do this one. They asked me to do when twin flames separate, what's really going on? All right, and yeah, okay, I think we can handle that because I found myself in situations where, in doing some mentoring for a lot of twin flames, that this pretty much comes up just about all of the time. And I understand totally what's taking place. Is to put it to you in this way, the twin flame, again, the twin flame connection, and some of the things I'm going to say here are going to sound a little repetitive again, but repetition doesn't hurt. The twin flame template is an opportunity that's now available to everyone sooner or later. And the twin flame template, if you're not successful with it, and I think more and more people are starting to get the idea after a lot of you gagged on it for a while, if you're not successful with the first opportunity of the twin flame template, you're going to get another one, and you'll get another one. And the next one you get will be indicative to the last one that you had and the growth that you did, whether the other one didn't or not. But in regards to the separation, well, let's look at it this way. Over the course of time, whenever I've found that an impasse has come up between a set of twin flames, it's usually because of such situations as, well, one's in a relationship and the other one's not. The other one's in a relationship, but they can't get out of it because preconceived of obligations and debt. And the other big problem that comes up with the separation is one of them may have a lot of expectations about this should happen, that should happen, if this is happening, this should happen, because this is a twin flame connection. This is going to happen, that's going to happen, blah, 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 and the beat goes on and the beat goes on. But what happens is this, is the idea that people need to understand that the connection begins at the top between two people, all right? And that connection begins at a very high vibrational soul level. And then it filters downward through the mental, through the emotional, through the etheric, and to the physical body. So along with that, everybody's belief systems, ideologies, right? Culture, religious, political, and every type of educational belief system all come into play, all right? So you have a lot of patterns there between these two people. But the connection was made at the soul level that doesn't have all of these belief systems, innuendos, philosophies, pattern, expectations, agenda, behavior modules, functional, dysfunctional patterns, all right? That's the key, all right? So what happens is, as the two go in to the bliss state, they experience it for a period of time, they're happy, everything's well, wonderful, blah, 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 the sex is great, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then all of a sudden, the old patterning will come into play. Now the patterning will show up in each person individually according to that patterning, all right? And it can come up as fear, it can come up as expectation, it can come up as how he's treating me or how she's treating him. It can come up in regards, as I mentioned, to the relationship. So from an energetic point of view, what you had in the original connection was that temporary bliss state where everything was equalized, which was there for the purpose of showing the two individuals what is possible between two people. And another important point I want to make here in this particular video is this. Look, let's be honest. When the biggest majority of us take a look around at our society today, everywhere on the planet, relationships are in trouble. We have multitudes of people who are in unhappy relationships, in marriages, relationships based on old concepts of relationships, love, and sexuality, based on obligations and debts that are three-dimensional commitments in reality only and exist nowhere else. And it creates all kinds of complications and problems. And these types of situations have been in play for hundreds of years and have produced generation after generation of people carrying the same thing, compounded again and again. And now the end result is we have people that were born and bred out of relationships that were dysfunctional to start with, or contained dysfunctional pattern, or were created based on very slim, indoctrinated, programmed expectations of relationships based on religion, belief systems, peer pressure, and family input. And all of these start to come out at this particular point. Why? Because in the twin flame connection, as I said, to be repetitive, this begins at the soul level. And the soul doesn't give a rat's ass about what you think at a conscious level based on belief systems of religious indoctrination, political structure, race, cultural belief systems, and or family input, expectations, agendas, reading romance novels, or spending a whole lot of time in YouTube videos listening to twin flame information from the teapot and card ladies. All right. So what happens is all of this is for the purpose of changing something in our society. Our society, our structure, our infrastructure, our shopping center, our suburban lifestyle, all exist on one basic premise: relationships. No relationships, no society, no humanity, period. So if you have a non-functional, falling apart, producing people with all kinds of dysfunctional patterns, belief systems, behavior modalities, and people who are acting like idiots, assholes, and fools, something has to go. All right? That is why the twin flame template or the twin flame energy is here. So, as the two people, back to the beginning, formulate that connection at that level, as they come back to their state of relative waking consciousness with all of the previous belief systems, innuendos, ideologies, philosophies, etc., 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 it's inevitable that conflict, disappointments, expectations, obligations, debts, preconceived ideas of love, relationship, and sexuality are all going to come into play. Now, are some of you starting to finally get this? Okay, why you pull apart? Because I'll explain it further. All right. So as all of this is coming into play, and the he said, she said, or the she, and the he is going on, whatever combination you're in, all right, when all of this is going back and forth, all right, you're looking for something that's going to correct the situation, and you go up on YouTube or to all of the twin flame community, the YouTubers on Facebook who are promising you this and promising you that, and promising if you do their program or you're following their church or you're listening to their information and only their information, that everything's going to be wonderful and beautiful, and that the twin flame pathway is never difficult. It's not supposed to be difficult, but it is. So what happens is this. Because all of that I've been talking about radiates as a vibrational imprint, as it were, or reflects from the inner you to the energy field around you. What happens is, as this comes into the play, what you had in the beginning that was there and unified, now because it's being reflected of all of the impediments, blockages, who for us, or what done it, and the belief systems, etc., 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 suddenly the togetherness of the energy field is not there anymore. And no longer are you attracting to, you are repelling each other's energy field because of the issues that are there that need to be addressed and taken into consideration and worked with. So, is anyone in punishment? Is this karma? If I hear more of that karma bullshit, I'm going to puke. And what happens is you start to repel each other energetically initially at first, and then you start to repel each other initially physically. Oh, the phone calls drop off, the visits drop off, you're spending less time together, you're fighting or arguing at a particular point in time, and you're getting more and more miserable because you don't know what the hell's going on. And then you find Melvin's video and he explains it to you. Oh, okay, now I understand what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't do anything right. And I'm not having any success, and he's not having any success because neither one of us know what the frig we're doing in regards to the twin flame connection, and all of that bullshit we're listening to on YouTube from all of the teapot and card ladies and all the other self-proclaimed expert is now worth the powder to blow it to hell. And it's like shoving a hot poker up a wild cat's ass. You just know it's not going to go well. You finally get real. And what happens is, as you repel, which is exactly what the doctor ordered, which is exactly what should happen, because no longer are the two of you communicating, you're not compromising, you're not navigating, you're not negotiating, you just become literally a pain in the ass to each other, literally. So your energy fields separate and pull you apart. And then the wailing, and the gnashing, and the whining, and the crying, and the belly aching starts. All right? And the one thing every one of you in a twin flame connection and the opportunity of the twin flame connection is if you want it, you're going to earn it, and you're going to have to grow up and be an adult, spiritually mature, balanced, and in union with yourself. The time of the adult teenager in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, who are still teenagers, and going through all of the teenage annex and the playpen and all the rest of the bullshit that they do in regards to relationship, when the twin flame connection comes as an opportunity, you're going to grow, like it or not. And in some cases, you're going to have to pull apart from that original connection. And at that point, you cannot hold the other person responsible any longer, because one of the common things that I hear all the time is, well, it's my twin flame's fault, or it's her fault, it's his fault. It's because he's done this and she's done that and she's doing this and he's doing that. I hear this crap all the time, all right? And I don't put up with it for 5 seconds when I'm talking to people, all right? So what happens is you separate. And that's exactly the way it was supposed to be, because your energy fields are now clashing. So what happens? That's it? It's all over? Nope, it's not. What's going to happen is you're going to start attracting to yourself circumstances, situations, people, and whatever is necessary to continue to poke your buttons in exactly the same areas that you and your twin flame couldn't get together on. And the same thing is going to happen to him or her, whatever. by attracting circumstances or situations into their life, and in some cases even other people, that you're going to have to do something. It's called grow up. All right? That's what humanity is doing right now. We're actually as intelligent as we think we are, as scientifically advanced as we think we are, as technologically advanced as we think we are. We are not all that fucking bright. We really are not that bright. We think we are because our egos keep feeding us that shit that we're getting brighter and brighter and smarter and smarter. We're not any smarter than we were 50 years ago. As a matter of fact, as I look back over my life, one thing I like about being older is I've had the chance to see several generations come. All right? And I'm going to tell you something. There's more of us, all right, now on the planet with less smarts. Okay? I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm calling it smarts and being spiritually mature. And if some of you think that's judgment, fine. I couldn't give a rat's ass because I'm not a spiritual teacher and I'm not a guru. All right? I just give information. You can chew on it and choke, or you can swallow it and digest it and be inspired by yourself. Okay, so now you separate it and this is what happens. So what does this mean? This means that our society and the concept of love, relationship, and sexuality is going to change whether we like it or not. So the next question is okay, so girl number one or boy number one says, that's it, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I like it the way it is. I'm going back to the old way of doing things. I'm staying safe. I'm staying where I am. I don't want to do this crap, this twin flame shit stuff. Fine, that's your choice. Who cares? I don't. Couldn't care less. But the other one grows. The other one, out of the picture of the original one, grows and evolves, makes some changes, understands that inevitably the twin flame connection is nothing more than the opportunity of growth for two people to first of all bring the masculine and feminine of the individual into balance, which is the purpose of the twin flame connection in the first place. And then once the balance of masculine and feminine is in union with the individual, then they themselves can attract to themselves someone else that they can actually be in union with. That's what it's all about and always was in the first place. All of the rest of all that trappings and bullshit that's been built all around it is nothing but illusion and partial experiences of people who have partially experienced it and build it into a Bible, more or less. So what happens is the person who has grown has now, their vibration has changed and their auric field has changed. So here's the one here and here's the other one here. Whoa, we got a real big gap here now. So what happens is they no longer can connect anymore, period. It's a done deal. And what happens is over an extended period of time, the individual who's grown will all come to a point of self-realization, okay? They'll awaken, in simple terms. And they will realize that it's not going to happen with this person. It's over, it's done with. And they can think about them for the rest of their life and call them their twin flame if they want, all right? But what will happen is that person will attract to themselves, that's done the work, will attract to themselves another person of equal vibration to what their auric field is now. Not what it was with the separation between their twin flame, but what it is now. They will attract another person, call it a twin flame connection opportunity again, equal to the growth that they have made manifest in their personality. Remember that word, personality. The twin flame experience is all about achieving a high development of personality. Twin flames, real ones, who have grown and evolved, have personality. And the personality of twin flames will either evoke a feeling of love and passion, peace and serenity in you, or they will piss you off and rub you the wrong way, intensely so. And I love doing that, especially when it comes to twin flame, because nobody can out-talk me when it comes to twin flames. Nobody. Because I know the process and I understand it, and I know how to put it forth in that degree. So what happens again, this is for the big picture, the change in our society. Because the future generations of children that are going to come out of twin flame unions and the twin flame template that's passed are going to be highly evolved, highly unique, highly creative, highly authentic, and they're going to contain a lot of these components: sincerity, compassion, honesty, principles, integrity, all of those principles. What are they? They are nothing more than aspects of a highly developed and highly evolved being, which is where we're going, which is what I've talked about before previously. This is why the separation takes place, for the development and change of the personality of the individuals or individuals in question. That's why it happened. It's not a punishment. There's no karma involved here. All right. This is not a carryover from any kind of previous incarnations together or love affairs that you may have had. This is a process. It is a process of producing a new entity and being through this aspect that I'm explaining now, the twin flame template or the twin flame energy. Now, I hope this gives you a little bit of understanding of what is going on. And this was a request video, okay? And if you need me to, take a poke at you and you feel as though my blunt style will work for you, because if you come to me for assistance and help, I'm not going to sit there with a feather and tickle you. And I'm not going to patronize you in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to work with you. And I'm going to call you on your bullshit. Every time I smell it, see it, and feel it coming. That should have scared some of you off. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm real softy, to be honest with you. Really? No, I'm not really. Okay, take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.